So you've probably thought about it, right? Building your own custom AI model. It sounds like a huge project, a massive undertaking. But what if I told you that entire complex process could be boiled down to a simple, guided conversation? Let's take a look at how that actually starts. Okay, it all kicks off with something just like this. Super simple, super direct. I need to build a model to classify customer support tickets. This is a real-world problem, right? Someone has a clear goal, but, they don't really know the first thing about how to get there. And yeah, this is exactly where most of us would get stuck. The gap between having the idea and actually doing it can feel massive. I mean, this is a task that traditionally would require a whole team of experts, data scientists, ML engineers, and we're talking months of work. So where do you even begin? Well, here's the twist. What if you didn't start with a single line of code? What if you just started with a conversation? That's the whole idea here. We're talking about an AI assistant that doesn't just sit there waiting for your commands. Nope, it actively guides you by asking all the right questions. Any great partner, whether it's a human consultant or an AI, needs to know what you're trying to do before they start building. So step one is always about getting on the same page, clarifying that goal. And these questions are absolutely crucial. We're talking about things like, what are the ticket categories? What kind of accuracy do you actually need? What's your budget? Your timeline? By asking just a few of these key questions, the AI takes that vague idea we started with and turns it into a concrete blueprint, a real actionable plan. All right, so let's walk through what is probably the most common and honestly the most challenging path, the no data journey. This is for when you've got the idea, you've got the goals, but you don't have any data to get started. This is where things get really interesting. So using that blueprint we just made, the assistant lays out a super clear 5-step plan. It takes what seems like a really intimidating process and just breaks it down into these manageable chunks. And first on the list, we gotta find the right data. So step one, data. Now, instead of you spending hours, maybe even days searching the internet, the AI just instantly scans public repositories and finds 3 solid options. It checks them for quality, licensing, you name it. And for our project, it recommends the SOS Support Tickets dataset from Hugging Face. Perfect fit. Okay, next up is data prep. And the speed here is just insane. Seriously, this part of an AI project is usually a massive time sink, a real bottleneck. But here, in seconds, the assistant downloads all 12,000 tickets, maps the categories, checks the data quality, splits it up for training and testing, the whole shebang. It's all done, completely automated. All right, data's prepped. Now the assistant sifts through dozens of different models out there and brings back the top 3 contenders. You've got DistillBERT, which is a great balance of speed and accuracy. Then there's Roberta, if you need to squeeze out every last bit of accuracy. And finally, Mini LM, if speed is your #1 priority. It's all laid out for you, nice and clear, so you can make an informed choice. And this is where we hit the key decision, right? The big trade-off. Roberta is about 1.7% more accurate, which is nice, but it costs almost double and takes way longer to train. It's kind of like choosing between a super reliable family car that does everything you need it to do and a flashy sports car that's a little bit faster but way more expensive. Given our goals, over 90% accuracy and a budget under $50, DistillBERT is the no-brainer here. It's the smart choice. So, the decision is made. We click go, and the training kicks off. This is where the model actually starts learning from the data. And look at that. After just one pass through the data, they call that an epoch, it's already hitting 85% accuracy. That's a really solid start. Now, watch this. During the second pass, we see this huge jump in performance. The model is clearly getting the hang of it, figuring out the patterns, and boom, it just blew right past that 90% accuracy goal we set at the very beginning. Fantastic. And this final pass, the third epoch, is really just about adding that final polish. The accuracy climbs a little bit more and then levels off at a beautiful 91.8%. So training's done, and the model is performing even better than we asked for. Perfect. And just like that, we're done. The model is trained and deployed. So now let's look at the payoff, the real tangible results. There it is, 91.8%. That's the final accuracy score on the test data. It's clean, it's simple, and it tells the whole story. We didn't just meet the goal, we beat it. That one number is proof that this whole automated journey worked perfectly. So let's just recap the original goals we set. Accuracy, we needed over 90%. We got 91.8%. Check.
Budget? We had $50 to play with. The whole thing cost $11.80. Check. And timeline? We thought maybe a few hours. It took a grand total of 42 minutes from start to finish. I mean, come on. Mission accomplished? Big time.
And this is what you get at the end of it all. It's not some complicated file you have to download and mess with. It's a clean, simple API. That means that abstract model we just built is now a real practical tool. Any developer can take this little snippet of code and plug it right into their application. It just works.
But, not everyone starts with no data. What if the situation was different? A truly smart assistant has to be flexible, right? So let's quickly look at a couple of other paths this could have gone. It's all about being adaptable. For instance, if you already have your own data, you can just upload it. The assistant will analyze it and train a model that's even more accurate because it's tailored specifically to your business. Or what if you're in a huge rush and need something right now? No problem. The assistant can offer up a pre-built model that you can use immediately. So different needs, different paths, all leading to a solution.
Okay, so the model is deployed. But that's not the end of the story. Not at all. Think of a model as a living thing. It needs to be monitored and maintained over time. The journey definitely continues. And this is where the AI really shines as a long-term co-pilot. You get a dashboard to see how it's doing in real time. You can track your costs. You can even set up alerts in case the accuracy starts to dip. And it'll help you with integration code for stuff like Zendesk. It's not just about building the model, it's about being your partner for its entire lifecycle. Which brings us to the big takeaway here. Think about it. We just watched a project that would have taken months and a team of experts get done in 42 minutes, all through a simple conversation. When building custom AI becomes that easy, when the barrier to entry basically disappears, it just opens up a whole new world of possibilities. So the question isn't, how do I build it anymore? The real question is, what will you build next?